So we have a few minutes here to explore a few things. Where to start? Love. Love changes everything. It does. It does. It's pretty hard to define what love is. The romantic kind does, right? It changes everything, being in love with someone. But I'm talking more especially about a higher love. Love, a creative power within us all. Bring me light. But it does change everything. That higher love is hard to define, maybe impossible. We can't box it in. If we tried to, it wouldn't live in the box. It defies definition, even though we can describe our experiences, what it feels like when we're entered by love. And it does change us. It changes us. It changes everything. Love is everywhere, we might say. Love is all around. Love is in the air. How many more song titles can we come up with? And love around is beautiful. And the surround of love is beautiful. Who doesn't want to be surrounded by love? That's what a hug is all about, I think. And yet, it changes us when it enters us in a magnificent way. Whatever else love is, it's a creative power. It comes in, it activates, it claims us. It finds us and claims us if we're willing to be found. Somebody in our small group used the word surrender in talking about what they wanted to be witnessed in was their surrender and the realization that they hadn't fully surrendered in their life. It takes a surrender, it takes a reception, an openness to be entered by love. The word Islam essentially means surrender. Muhammad or somebody must have realized the importance of that act for us as a human being. When we let love in, it changes us. Love could be described as a carrier wave. I don't know a lot about carrier waves, but I know enough to know that it's a vibration, a main vibration, and then other information can ride along the carrier wave. It's about as far as I can get in terms of the scientific explanation. But that much I know, and I know that that's what love is like. When love comes in, there are other things that come in with it. The desire to create. Love comes in, and it inspires the desire, the ambition to let that love that you feel inside to live in the world, to be shared, to be expressed, to be embodied. So love activates us. It wants out once it comes in. It comes with desire, the desire to create not just anything, but to create forms that embody the love that we're feeling inside. Love comes with something else that we could call will. Will. Very much related to what I just said. It has a will to it. We don't become invaded by love and then just think, I don't care what happens, I'm just going to walk around. It doesn't work like that, I don't think. No, love comes in And we get desirous, we get willful. No, this isn't good enough. I want this. Let's do this. So love comes with will. If we tune the dial properly, it comes in with something else. Yes, we have activation and power. We have will, we have desire. But if we tune it in, we have direction. There's a wisdom in that carrier wave of love. It'd be pretty bad if it didn't. It's like, here is this tremendous explosion of love, but you have no idea how to express it, how to embody it, or let it live in the world. But I don't believe it's like that. I can even say, I know it's not like that from my own experience. There's a wisdom in there. I've written songs, I've written books, I've written instrumental pieces for horns. I've done all kinds of things that were not only motivated by love, but were also directed by love. A wisdom that I don't claim to have all by myself. But there's a wisdom born out of love that guides us, that tells us, go there, see them, say something, say this. If we're open to it, it's the same thing, the same principle. We have to surrender. We have to receive it. We have to believe it. Believe that that direction that we're receiving is real, is valid. Somebody might think you're a bit nuts. It goes to what God told me to do it or something. And I think there's common sense in the whole process, and not everything that pops into our mind is the last word on the intelligent thing to do. So I think part of the process and part of the gift that we have as a human being is to be thoughtful about the whole thing, not simply impulsive. Keahi and I went to a talk that I've made mention of a little while back. There's a composer from New York who gave this talk at Off the Hook Arts, if you've heard of them. And he'd written a book. I'm going to have to struggle to remember the name of the book, but the theme of the book was how in composing, in music and composing, but also in any other form of creativity, there is both the inspiration and the craft. Good for Becca. Visions and Decisions?
Yes.
Okay, that was the name of the book. Yes. By Adolf somebody. But that's not the point. The point is that, yes, there is what inspires us, and then there's a craft involved in expressing that creativity in the world. You can't be mindless about that expression. And yet, without the inspiration, carried on the carrier wave of the power of creation, which is love, where are we going? What are we doing? We don't achieve success in creating a world out of love without creating from love. What are we going to do with our computers and our brilliant minds? Try to build a world and then ask love to inhabit it? When? Next year? Next decade? Next century? It doesn't work like that. No, it has to be built out of the intelligence that comes with love, that guides us. One of the themes that I was speaking on Sunday was as above, so below. I did a little research You might have thought I would do that before I give this talk, but I did it afterwards. That wisdom came from Greek-speaking people in Egypt in the 2nd or 3rd century BC. It's quite a ways back, but apparently it caught on. They called it or attributed this wisdom that they recorded to the Greek god Hermes. And therefore it's referred to as the Hermetic tradition. So it was from these Greek-speaking people in Egypt. So apparently the wisdom of it all was revered in the ancient world, and it got around the ancient world. And an Arab people, everybody was conquering each other back then, as to some degree they still are today. So the Arabs came in and conquered in Egypt, and they picked up this Hermetic tradition. And in something like the 8th century, it came out as the Emerald Tablets. The Emerald Tablets. And so that was in Arabic. And this saying, I think it's the 2nd verse or something of the Emerald Tablets, as above, so below. It's actually a little longer than that, but it's gotten condensed because it got picked up in the 20th century by 20th century mystics. And in between, in the medieval ages, it was picked up by the alchemists. So if you know anything about alchemy and the alchemists, they picked it up. It was also translated into Latin along the way. So anyway, that's the history of this saying. But it's a profound saying when the more you think about it. As above, so below. There is something there's something at a higher level of reality that is like down here, just at a higher level. It may seem like an arcane point to make. A lot of people over the centuries and even millennia have decided that it's an important distinction to make. There's love up there, wherever up there is. There's love in the universe. And I have love as a human being. And it's actually one love. And if the way that I love gets separated from that grand love, that universal love, it becomes this contorted, twisted thing. Love can be that way, yes. And love can be wonderful, but a human form of love can become twisted. I thought what Karchere was saying about it was so profound. Like at that level, if a person doesn't let love in, nobody can love them enough. If you can't love yourself and let love in and flow through, no matter how much you're loved by others, it's not enough. And then all kinds of distortion in the way people love each other comes into the picture. No, as above, so below. I want to love like the universe loves. I want to love like the sun loves. I want to love with the power of creation. I want to express love through my personhood, but I don't want my love to be purely personal. The same with intelligence. There is the intelligence of the cosmos. And then there's human intelligence. I want my intelligence to be the same intelligence as is out there in nature, the same intelligence that guides the stars and the sun. I don't want the intelligence that creates an atomic bomb. That's human intelligence that's divorced from a higher intelligence. I don't want to be stupid. I don't want to lack intelligence, but I want the kind of intelligence that I have to be the same. As above, so below. In me, let it be so in me. this is bringing us to the end of our time. As you can probably feel, there's so much of this to explore. To put it in religious terms, another word or component of intelligence is sight. Sight, what do I see? What do you see? Whose eyes do you see with? Do you see with only human eyes? Some kind of localized sense of identity? Just little old me here? Or do you see with divine vision, with, you might say, God's eyes? And what does God want to see through me? What does God want to know through me? And you could even ask, how badly does he want to know it? How badly does he want to see it, or she want to see it? I think pretty badly. Oh, I want to see you. I want to see you for who you are. I want to truly see. The higher sight, the higher vision wants to see. It wants to see through us. And we feel that compulsion to see each other, to truly see the world, to truly know each other, to truly know the world. And that compulsion in us is powerful. There is a profound fulfillment in seeing and being seen. We are made to see. I believe we want to see. The compulsion is strong. And yet, as human beings, we can be hesitant to see. I want to see. I desire to see. I desire to know you, but I'm a little afraid of what I'd find out. I might find out you don't like me. Or something else. Anyway, thank you for sharing these meditations. It's a meditation which is not only an intellectualization of something, but the emergence of an experience of something. I believe we are big time around here involved in that experience. That emergence of awareness coming through us from above. You say above because we don't have a better preposition to use. You can say within, might be able to say below. After all, the cosmos is below us as well as above us. So. And thanks so much, and good evening.